Live.
We are live.
We are live. Wayne, I could hear a little background noise, I think on your end.
Yeah, it's the party. It's the party. It's a party here. It's the
Welcome,
Convex
everybody,
office.
to the monthly active users podcast presented by Convex. Today's a special episode because yesterday we got two model drops. It feels like OpenAI versus Anthropic is Windows versus Mac. We also have some interesting titles here. Wayne says title is Running with Claw. Jamie is not an early Uber investor, and I'm make site fast at Convex. I'm here with my lovely guest hosts, Mr. Wayne, Mr. Jamie. How are you guys doing? How are you fellas doing?
Feeling good. Yeah, how about you, Wayne?
Good. My saying this week is what a time to be alive. What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive.
Wayne
Yeah.
is just getting cooler and cooler, Jamie. I don't know if we can contain his clout. This guy's getting invited to the events. He's getting early access. People are messaging me, asking me to connect them to Wayne. And yeah, Wayne, how do you feel about this like newfound clout that you're starting to elevate in an experience?
It's cool.
Nonchalant.
He just did it again. How did
Yeah,
he do it
it's just
so effortlessly? Wayne's aura farming 24/7
yeah.
basically. He's
Jamie, I
got
do
it
have a
figured out.
question.
Yeah.
Your title description says not early Uber investors. Is there like a story behind that?
Yeah, there's another podcast, most would say lesser podcast, where one of the hosts is well known to remind everyone that they were in very early on Uber. So, but that's a podcast with VCs. So by definition, it's a lesser podcast than what we have going on here. So,
Fair. Are there like any early stage startups that you could have invested in that you missed that you kind of regret, or you're like, I wish I invested?
oh man, yeah. There's always like, I mean, Facebook really early. That was a bummer, but I think if you've been around long enough, there's always like six things that was an opportunity that passed by, that you didn't do. So yeah, but anyway, to be frank, like I don't. This is gonna be a weird thing to say, but like I don't care at all. Like I'm a very not FOMO person. Like
Mm.
I know, and am really close to some FOMO people, and I know how painful that is. I'm extremely easygoing about these things. It's kind of like, like always always trying to kind of pursue what feels good next, like what feels interesting next, and I don't really regret like those kinds of things for the most part. So yeah, but
Make
anyway,
make
We love.
make to Jamie's point. Jamie's point. Like he's not a big FOMO person. Like I messaged him a couple nights ago. I was like, Jamie, like Ashton Kutcher's here, Kevin Rose is here, blah blah. You got to come to this. Jamie's like, oh, okay. He's like, cool. He's like, cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
I was hanging out with my son, so I was like, it sounded fun. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I'm just, yeah, I mean, short way to put it is I'm not really a FOMO person. So like
yeah,
these things don't eat me up the way I know that it could sometimes for some people.
yeah.
Well,
And the other thing, right quick, is Jamie. You mentioned about this other podcast, this other, let's know VC podcast. I'm not sure if Mickey got that. I'm not sure if he got that because in terms of like,
What's the name
we,
of the podcast, Wayne? I don't know. I can't
um,
remember. It's like a bunch of
oh
letters.
wow,
TB. There's a T and a B in there, and
oh
this
yeah, I did
this
not get
week,
that. I did
this
not
week,
get that. I did not
this
get
and
that.
just
weekend.
is it Keith the one that always is like I was in early at Uber? Is that
Yeah,
Keith that does that? Okay, yeah.
yeah, this
So
weekend. Yeah,
But one upgrade that we're gonna have, I think next week or the week after, is I am going to get like a mini soundboard. So for everyone watching,
mm.
expect explosives, expect all like
toilet
the
toilet flushes,
yes, all of
like
it, expect
yeah.
all of it.
We're gonna make it really highbrow.
Exactly. Yes, the production value is going to increase. But there's some cool things I want us to talk about. First and foremost, model drops. We
Yeah.
have Anthropic Opus 4.6, which apparently was Sonnet. This is a theory now. I don't know if this is true, but the Anthropic team allegedly was like, "Oh, we could just brand this as Opus and charge more." I don't know if that's true. Opus 4.6, and then we have GPT 5.3 Codex. I'm very thankful they don't have a extra high version. So we have these two models. I would love to know. Maybe Jamie, we'll start with you. Any thoughts? Have you played with these models? Have you picked a side? Whose team are you on? Or you are an open code user, so you don't care which model's the best?
I'm an open code user. I just love the fight, you know? I'm all about the fight. I love the fight more than I love any model, you know? That's my attitude. I have heard over and over again from people I respect that GPT 5253 codex is extremely strong for very, very large, tricky changes. And that's probably true. And I've played with that and experienced that a little bit. But, I have a bias because one thing that is very true right now is Opus is exceptionally good at convex, and so, like, Theo was even talking about his stream recently, how, like, he's just using GPT except when he's writing convex, and he switches to Opus because it gets all the idioms right, and it writes convex code that's just basically 100% right. And a GPT is not quite that good at convex. I would love to figure out how to get GPT better at convex because it does feel, at least in my life, like the one kind of weakness on the coding side. The hot take, I guess I will say, is yesterday I did use a lot of 4.6 and I used some 5.3. I didn't really notice a difference, if I'm being honest. Like, if
Yeah.
somebody was like, "Is this a big step up over 4.5?" Like, absolutely not in my experience, like, extremely marginal, 4.5 was very impressive, 4.6 remains impressive. I didn't notice that much of a difference. So what about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'll pass it off to you, and then I'll have some thoughts to share. Wayne, would love to hear what you think.
Yeah, I'm at Opus. I'm at Opus 4.5, 4.6 still. I'm still in the IDE. I play with, because of Jamie. I play with Zed some. I'm still in Cursor right now, but I'm IDE with Cursor and Opus.
Shout out to
I
Wayne
did.
and the 5 other cursor users.
Oh, man.
I'm joking. I
Oh,
love
boy.
Cursor. I use I'm so joking. I use Cursor. I
Oh, Cursor.
literally I have
I
Cursor
know,
open
I
right
know.
now.
Cursor
Yeah.
still,
So
despite what Twitter would have you say, Cursor is still
Cursor,
killing it.
it
Yeah,
is
Hey,
amazing. I
yeah.
still love reviewing the code. And even like to be frank, they're the ones who came up with like the agent view. Then
Mhm.
everyone started to run with it. Like Codex ran with it, and other like platforms ran with it. But like Cursor is like is creme de la creme. I love Cursor. I had to throw that joke. I had to. I'm sorry.
your sponsorship deal may not run through.
No, I love Cursor, please. But like a couple of my thoughts. So I spammed like both 5.3 and Opus 4.6. And like to your point, Jamie, like I think on both realms, it might be just marginally better. Usually how I test it is I have like these 5, 6 problems that I've had before that other models couldn't solve that I always just keep. And I'll give the model like a chance to fix it. And both Opus 4.6 and GPT 5.3, this was the first time the set of problems I gave them, they fixed it one shot. So there is a marginal improvement. But from a vibes perspective, to me, Opus 4.6 feels like an extremely cracked developer who's in with the times, who knows the frameworks, who knows like the convexes, like who's very deep into syntax and knows best practices and this, that, and the third. And 5.3 feels like the boomer engineer who, like clean code, like knows about traces, looks at it feels like two different mindsets. And from a practical usage perspective, I love Opus 4.6. Yes, I have the bias where it's good in convex, and every project I use is built on convex. But there are like these very meticulous, like very hard problems that I find that Codex just knows how to solve, or if it comes to restructuring a code base. So it feels like it's different. Like they're definitely different models, but to your point, I don't have a pick in this fight. I'm just going to use both.
Yeah, I feel like if you're like let your feet do the talking kind of a thing, 99% of the time I'm using Opus. Even like I was doing a big Rust thing actually this morning and last night, and I was using Opus for that, even though there's no convex involved. The reason I feel like GPT is arguably theoretically stronger, but in
Yeah.
practice it pisses me off more, right? Because like the thing I like about Opus is it feels to me like the total iteration times are a little faster because it's a little more to the point. Like
Yeah.
GPT thinks a lot about a really hard change, and it feels like it thinks a lot about a relatively straightforward change. And Opus is more like to just rip that easy change out really quickly. And
Yeah.
because of that, I tend to get impatient more with GPT. I'm not saying it does worse work, but like I kind of don't care, right? Like
Yeah.
they both do good enough work, and I just kind of want it done in a way that doesn't throw too much text at me, just like keeps it concise. And I think Opus to me feels like it has the best balance of those things right now, the quality versus like the sort of speed and the information density of like what it makes you process and validate as a human.
Yeah, that's a good point, right? Like, do we want a model that's super, super smart but super slow? I think speed is a factor. I enjoy the speed as well. Like, I use Codex right before I'm about to go to bed, expecting it to run all night. Like that's what I use because like I'm just like I'm very impatient, right? Where with Opus, like to your point, it does iterate much faster. And sure, if it doesn't one shot something as quick as Codex would, I feel like on the second or third iteration, if you calculate the time, you get more done with Opus than you do with Codex. But it is a great time to be a user of these models because they're fighting it out, and the customer always wins in this case.
Yeah, I have some more questions about that, Mickey, about you and Codex before you go to bed. Like, is it tell you some is it tell you some nighttime
Do you want to know
stories?
my
No,
nighttime
no, no,
routine?
no. Wait a
I
minute. But
drink a
before we
glass
do
of
that,
milk. You want to roast me for that too?
but before we do that, we have a special guest. Let's bring him on and see what
Who are we
model he
bringing on?
uses. Bring him on. Let's see.
Are we bringing on a developer? Who is this? Hello, Mr. James.
Not me. I'm just eating a croissant, thinking about socialized healthcare,
You're
art,
feeling very European.
culture. About to smoke a cigarette. Yeah, just feeling.
Do you have like those caps that don't like come off? Like it's just stuck right there?
Yeah, that's the innovation right there.
Peak
Um,
European innovation.
I'm just feeling very European today. I'm feeling
I
very
wonder
European.
I
why.
wonder why that
Do
is.
you have like a trip
Oh,
planned, or did you see? I don't know if you guys
Mm.
saw the French president, prime minister tweet that they're investing heavily in AI innovation. And the investment amount was 30 million euros, and they're getting clowned on. So I don't know if it has something to do with that or if it's something else. Like,
Give it to us. We'll take it. I can spend 30 million euros.
We could find
Man,
something.
we can spend that so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just been thinking about Europe. I don't
what's
know.
interesting
yeah.
about Europe? Like, why? Like, I mean, a lot of people have been asking about this hosting thing. I don't get it. Like, I don't. Why don't you just host in the land of the brave and the home of the free in the United States of America? But I guess
Oh,
people want to
that's
host
it.
everywhere.
That's
People
a
want to host
judgment
everywhere
call,
else.
Mickey. Well, yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So, without being too vague, we're going to turn on European residency now ish.
Oh,
Um, should we just turn it on now and then talk about it?
wait
Press
a
the
minute.
button. Press the button. Press the
Wait a minute.
button.
Wait a minute.
Now, I have. Who's going to share the screen? Who's going to
Uh,
share the? Wayne's sharing the screen.
whoa, okay.
Oh, wait. Okay,
Is this the
Wayne.
nuke? This is not the nuclear code. This is not the nuke.
This is
Just
how.
sure.
You might not know how infrastructure works at like high scale mature companies. Everything you turn on has a comical button to do so.
Yeah.
This is definitely the button that turns on Europe.
Every
So,
PR,
This is providing
every
shareholder value.
every PR we land, you're required to submit a button UI as well.
So just wait 1 second. I just want to have another bite of my
All right.
croissant and
Okay,
think
croissant.
about culture.
Okay.
That's
It
pretty
would be
good.
peak if he started smoking a cigarette. But thank God
Pretty
you're
good.
not, James.
We
Pretty
got
good.
smoke inside.
All right, Brian, let's hit the button.
Hit the button. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Finally, no more harassments from the comments. Can I
Super.
tell you this?
Yeah.
Every day, DMs. Like I've blocked at least, and I probably shouldn't, but I blocked at least 10 people. When EU hosting? When EU hosting? I don't know. Finally, it's here. We're thankful.
I'm very thankful to not have to hide from our users anymore because they really, really want to know when this is ready.
To be
No,
fair,
this is great.
we took too long, so that's fair enough. I mean,
And I would love
they're
to know like
right to
why
clown
that
on us.
is. Like James and Jamie, like what I guess from like the outsider perspective, what took so long? It just feels like, oh, Convex works. Why not just put it in EU? What took you
honestly,
guys so long?
seriously though, it took a while to get that button right. Like that was
The shading.
Which
Yeah.
model was used? Which
All
model
right.
was used?
we
Was it
iterated on
Opus?
that CSS for a while.
Let's talk about like big time stuff, right? But firstly, like it's not the hardest product we've ever worked on, right? I mean, Convex has a lot more complex parts of our stack. just look, this is why folks should use Convex, right? Things that scale, things that are durable. It just takes time, right? Setting up traffic and working with providers and making sure the operations are smooth. Something folks probably underestimate is like how much we have going on behind the scenes to make sure everyone's backends are reliable, and all the graphs and all the monitoring and all the systems. And we have a very small team here. So it just takes time to get it right. Now, once you've done one region, it's easier to do other regions. It's just
When Canada.
Well, that's not a crazy question. So if I was to rank the regions, not by virtue, but by the likelihood that we're going to ship them, well, obviously US happened first, then Europe. But so Europe, even though I'm eating a croissant, it's in Dublin. That's the region. People are like, why? Before I was saying it was going to be in Frankfurt, and then it's not. It's in Dublin. It's just AWS has a bigger presence in Dublin. It's
A lot
more
of people
established.
I've heard a lot of people saying Dublin is the new Frankfurt, so I think we're ahead on
That
this.
sounds like a culturally offensive thing to say, Jamie.
Well, shit.
It's in Dublin. It's in Dublin just for pragmatic reasons. It's just a bigger AWS region. That's just the honest truth. It's cheaper too, I think, for us, and so it's cheaper for you. It's unlikely we're going to launch in Frankfurt in the short term. So, US East, Dublin, Canada, Australia is the next on the list in terms of noise people are making.
Is there a bias there to Australia for any reason, James? Like that?
I just feel like as a people, very technologically advanced. Actually,
all I know is that Wayne and I are covered right now, so this feels like the two of you need to sort out some kind of Canada.
Yeah.
Australia
Duke
thing.
it out.
No, look, hey, there's more money to be made from Canada. Let's be totally blunt, right? But interestingly, folks might not know this. So when big tech companies test out new features, new products, they launch like an experimental new thing, oftentimes they do it in Australia. They do it in Australia for a variety of reasons. One, Australia is kind of like a little, is an island by itself, right? It's kind of a safe place to test things. It's kind of far away, right? But Australia has a very highly educated, wealthy populace that is very technologically sophisticated, by whatever metrics. And so oftentimes Australia kind of punches above its weight in terms of like tech companies launching features there because you're getting good feedback. Also, it's in Asia Pacific. I would say if I had to pick I just saw a request for Japan, it would probably be Singapore after that, but we have to think about it. If I had to guess a region off the top of my head, I would say you'd go Singapore next. And for a variety of reasons, geopolitical and just connectivity wise and latency wise.
I mean, a lot of companies do like the Australian market because you can sell both to the humans and the giant spiders.
Oh yeah.
Yo, are the spiders actually that big? Like I thought it was. I mean, is it actually? I would never go. If I found a spider that big in my house,
and the drop
the spider
bears
owns the house.
Maybe.
The spider
I'm
owns
not,
the house.
I'm not joking because
We do have some champions in Singapore who are ready for Convex Singapore. So like they're like
Singapore's
ready.
a good region to launch in. Yeah, there's a bit of a hub in Asia. Mickey, not kidding, because where I grew up was kind of a bit rural, like it wasn't in the city. And we've had multiple times snakes came into the house.
No.
And there was once a snake, I'm not kidding you, this snake was this is the diameter of the snake, of the circumference of the snake. And it was like, I don't know, 8 feet long or something, like a big snake. But
and he all just lived there? I would never.
Live
No, it owns the house. Burn the house down. I could never. I could never.
We literally once had a snake come into the house and then we lost it. And we were like, where's the snake? Like there's a snake in the house. And then we saw the snake leave.
That was very polite, actually. Yeah. And strangely enough, like close the door behind them after they.
I just had some guests come for lunch. Well, we can keep going because I've got 8 more minutes. Hey guys, feel free to make yourself at home. I'm just live on the internet right now.
Just a quick question, James, before you leave. It sounds like the reason why EU takes so long is like the Convex team actually sort of cares. and like wants to make things
Well-
perfect. Like we're not vibe coding and pushing to production.
Another way to put it is if you all wanted to run in Europe, yeah, we could have done that in a week. But if you all wanted to run in Europe, and for us to know that you were still running in Europe 5 minutes later, so all the quality control stuff and all the incredible kind of operational stuff we have to keep everything running well. Making sure that stuff all operates at the same standard as what we have in the United States. It takes some time to set that all up.
So it sounds like I just want to say, James, it sounds like we take the time so that people can vibe slop apps to production.
Yeah.
So Convex is doing the hard part so people can have fun and
our lives suck, so you can do whatever the hell you want. I mean, that's not. I actually am joking, but it's true. Like speaking to Pete from OpenClaw, right? We're like, hey, your app would be better if it was done this way. He doesn't. I don't care. Whatever, it works, right? And so it's our job to not only make the platform reliable, but also give feedback to the agents so they do the right thing. And we've just had to accept that, especially recently. Convex are the people who have to care about quality and design and architecture and this and that, because I can't convince the average developer to care. And so what? It's fine. Now, I want to say a few technical details about Europe. It might be helpful for folks. One,
wait a minute, Jim. Wait a minute, Jim.
You want to name drop for us?
You just name drop. Say Pete came by. He talked about how he builds. He looks at the code. He doesn't look at the code anymore.
He loves Convex. He thinks we're great. Yeah.
I think he said that like 5 times, even though I wasn't there, like 5, 6 times, right? I suspect.
Also, too, sorry. I'm just noticing on the sidebar, what the hell? That other podcast we talked about is daring to compete with us, and they're streaming at the same time.
No, we're coming for them.
I would ask our audience, don't look at the numbers. Don't look at the numbers. Those are misleading. We've got just as many people on ours.
They actually view bots. So
how long do they stay on? I know they start at 11. Okay. I
don't know.
There we go.
Anyway, sorry. We were talking. Yeah. I feel so much better now. Thank you. I feel way better now.
I'm low on battery power.
Okay. All right. Well, go ahead. Go ahead. But Pete came by. And he talks about he don't look at the code.
Oh, a desk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we can hear you
about
James.
Europe.
We can hear you.
Yeah. One. It's available to all plans, even free plans. I don't know. It costs us more money to run it.
Oh, we might have lost him. I think he's changing access points. He might reconnect here.
But like he said, free on all plans. So
it is free on all plans.
My free people who don't pay for a single service, have fun. Deploy apps to Europe for no reason. There he is.
We're here. Failover. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, technical details of one. It's available to everyone. It's free. I don't know why. Now I think it's 30% more expensive on the pro plans, but for free user, it's only more expensive because it's more expensive for us. But for free users, go for it. Two, the people primarily who I think, let me get my face up here. People who I think who should use EU are mostly folks who have like a compliance reason to be in Europe. So a lot of folks who are like healthcare company in Germany needs to have their data in Europe. They don't trust the United States. I get it, right? Those are the primary target. So for compliance purposes, if you just care about latency, you're probably just fine running things in. How did you? I don't know. Come on, I don't feel deserving of this. Okay, now I've kicked Wayne out. There we go. All right.
Wayne's just a nice guy.
What was I saying? If you just want to have low latency, sure, you can launch in Europe, but you could just as well run it in the US East Convex region, and it's our job to make it low latency for your customers. Most companies are global companies. Most people have people all over the world accessing their services. You are probably better off running them in US East if you're selling to the world. If you're selling just to Europe, run it in Europe. And we will launch, as soon as we can, edge proxies and consistent caching, global distributed consistent caching to make the US and Europe regions low latency for the whole world. So there's 2 things here. Mostly we've launched this for people who want their data there for reasons.
Compliance reasons.
legal, whatever reasons. Feel free to put it there for latency too, but latency is a separate problem, and we're going to target that more directly soon.
Okay, so if someone opening a healthcare
I
company,
can't hear
then they
anything
have
'cause I don't have headphones.
they can host the
So
EU.
that's okay. I need to drop off. I gotta
Thank
go
you,
do another
James.
thing.
We appreciate
It
this.
feels so cool. This is like a cool podcast. You all got like a good.
We're gonna have a
vibe.
soundboard next week or the week after with sound effects, so you should join us then too.
Please, yeah, like have me on again. I like this. Yeah, this is great. This is fun. Thank you. Sorry, Wayne, for kicking you off. All right, see ya.
Thanks, James. The AI camera is hilarious.
Oh man, it's so eager. It's like a dog.
It's like
What
Opus.
happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
It's like
It's
Opus.
following
I
James
think
around.
I think you have to turn and be in the camera's frame and then sit back down so it can follow you. Because I think it's still looking for James.
Yeah, I was gonna say originally we were gonna do Australia next, but then Micky reminded me he's the CEO, so we're going Canada. Yeah.
I appreciate that. My Canadian, I actually had a meeting with two other people, and they're both healthcare companies here, and I'm actually gonna forward you their contacts soon. That was the big thing they asked me. They're like, "Oh, compliance, law, legal, legal stuff like it matters." But and they're like, "When Canada hosting?" And I was like, "Okay, you can bug my CEO." But there's one qualm I have with Convex. I'm just gonna be quite honest with you guys, and I've made this mistake too. What's our problem with helping people lower their fees? Jamie is out here making PRs for Claude Hub so that their bill is smaller. And then I did an article talking about how you can optimize. Like, what's wrong with us? Like, I just want to know, like, what's going on? Are we not maximizing for profit and shareholder value? Like, Jamie, I would love to know, because I just followed your footsteps, right? You're the CEO of the company. So, like, what's going on in that arena?
So the Convex relationship, for lack of a better word, is a deep relationship where we have a ton of accountability to you, right? Because when you build your project on Convex, that is a long-term relationship, right, and a critical one. And so there's no world in which we want you to be happy with the value you're getting over time. It just does not make sense for us, and obviously doesn't make sense for you, right? So like saving customers money, to be honest, is like one of the most fun things we do, because it makes them love Convex more, and it makes them feel even more conviction in the long-term relationship with Convex. So if you could say like, well, aren't we worried about making money as a company? Well, of course we are, but we want to get as many people using Convex as we can, and we know that if we manage to keep your business as you're successful, Convex will make more money too, because we are a part of your success, right? So we don't like I think that making it so that you're paying more per unit of value you're getting is never a goal we have. If anything, we always want to minimize that. We just want to be able to be along for the ride, so that as your business becomes more valuable, we're sharing in that. So, and I also think too that like this is a thing I was thinking about this morning, is that I think there's this idea that like we're taking from you in a weird way as a customer, right? But like part of what Convex is doing in the long run with all of our like automatic caching stuff and this like is it we're going to introduce subquery caching and all this other stuff. It's very cool. Is you can build architectures with Convex that are much more compute efficient than you could do without it, at least easily, right?
Yeah.
And so the people we're taking money from together is AWS, and we're splitting it, right? So we're both saving money. AWS is getting less because we're all using less compute together. Convex is taking some of it, and you're taking most of it in terms of the savings, right? So that's really the game. Isn't like how can Convex take more money from you? It's how can we together take more money from AWS, and then split
Sort
that
of
money.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I posted that article and someone like replied saying this guy's gonna get pipped for making Convex less money. And I thought about it, was funny, but at the same time I'm like, Jamie is the one who literally like and it's the craziest thing. I've never seen this before. Like you saw the bill and you're like, this is not right. And then you made a PR, like, and you have all the CEO stuff to do. And I just think it shows like, like this company cares, like we care, right? Like genuinely, all jokes aside, we care, and we do want to be part of your success. And to your point, if your company grows, we're growing with you. And yeah, we're just taking AWS's money. I think Bezos has enough yachts,
They're doing
and
okay.
they're
They're
doing
doing
quite
okay.
fine. They're doing quite
Yeah.
fine. The last yacht I saw he bought was bigger than my entire apartment like building. So I think he's okay. I think
Yeah.
he's okay.
He'll survive. He'll be all right.
The key
In this
word,
bad economy.
the key word I got from that is like doing it together, right? It's
Yeah.
not just it's not just you out there building on your own. It's like
Here goes
you're
Wayne
building
with the
with us.
kumbaya stuff. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Wayne.
But
Yeah.
this is kumbaya versus the yacht, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's doing it together. So I like that because I try like when I think about how we talk about our quote unquote customers. It hit me the other day. It was like people are building with us. They're not like they got customers. Yes, they give us. There's a transaction there, but they're doing it together. Like, we're doing it all together.
Well, for sure, and you know, like not only because I guess does it feel good to work that way, which of course it does, right? But like, um, you know, if I'm buying a T-shirt from your store and like you don't ship it to me, or it's the wrong size, or the print is a bad quality, or whatever, right? Like whatever, like write that one off, right? Like I won't use that store again. So it's very different, right, than if you're using Convex to build your business, right? We're like we are, you know, the two of us are going to be working together a lot for a long time, and nobody wants to be in a working relationship where the people are angry at each other, right? Like being angry at your database provider is not a healthy thing for either platform, right? So anyway, because of that, like, and we're not the first company to do this. I think AWS has always been good about this, right? Like most of the time when we're talking to a customer, we're talking to them about how to save money, not, hey, what is it going to take to get you into a like more expensive thing? Like the product should be good enough to earn more of your business over time. And like most of the role of us in like a sales motion, for lack of a better way, is to like make you love the platform even more by potentially giving you a way to make your site even faster, right? Or whatever. And if that makes you spend less money with us, you know, that's great, because as long as we keep you around so you get to build your business together, we're going to be fine, right? That's my
Yeah,
attitude about it.
yeah,
Big
and I
facts.
love that attitude. I know we have a guest about to come, but Jamie, I'd like to hear just one more point, one question I wanted to ask you. I mean, obviously know the answer, but what are some of the efforts we're making on an AI front to make Convex more AI friendly? I know there's some efforts that have been started. Yesterday, we were told to vibe code to smithereens. Like, what are some of the things that we're doing, and what are some things that you would recommend, like maybe other companies or other people, on when they build these apps, like when they're building infra or a CLI or whatever? How can we make it so that the AI is good at it or can use it better?
Yeah. So, there's a lot of different things we're focusing on, but like there was this joke I think that Paul at Supabase and I went back and forth like a while ago about like Supabase had like a 7-second provision of a project, and Convex had like I don't want to say what it was. It was faster, right? I can't remember exactly how fast it was, but these days you can provision, you can provision a deployment in, maybe tens of milliseconds, right? Or something like that. And so, one of the things that might sound boring, but is really true, is Convex is just going to make it faster and cheaper to spin up deployments, because the more we're using agents and work trees and subtasks and everything else, the more Convex needs to be an incredible partner in like these like ephemeral, disposable kind of sandboxes to try out a new idea in. So that's one area of effort. And related to that is things like having APIs that make it so you're dropping into pre-populated environments with the right environment variables and stuff like that. So we really want to make the back end a really good, extremely lightweight, extremely cost-effective partner in this kind of like very parallel agentic development where one developer may have many things going on at once. There's also like maybe a second thing I'll say, and this is because we can talk forever about this, but a second major thing is that like I think everyone understands at this point that agents are much more successful when they have feedback, right? It's why they're better at TypeScript than JavaScript, right? Is because they can iterate their way towards success. So we are already starting to do work to plumb a lot more runtime information into the agent environment. In fact, we had a demo of that, I think, like 20 minutes ago or something at Show and Tell. So where we're giving access, the agent's getting access to runtime information like slow queries or like errors in production, stuff like that, so that we can start to kind of like automatically optimize your site, going back to that saving money thing, right? Like
Yeah.
instead of me spending my night writing code and using the agent, looking at the dashboard, and like if we can just directly give Claude that information as part of your normal development flow, and then like you're using things not only a way that works, but a way that is cost efficient at the same time. So yeah, those are a couple things that jump out at me that we're doing right now. Do you think I forgot one? Do you have one in mind?
No. I think the
Okay.
logs is the big one, right? Because like I made a site a couple days ago that I'm not very proud of, called Claw City. It's like a GTA for agents. I'm probably gonna nuke it soon. But the one thing that I learned is people started to enjoy it, and like thousands of agents started to sign up, and like I started to see a stream of red in my logs, and like my workflow became I'm copying the log, pasting it in Claude, and then it fixes it. And then to your point, the thought was it would be great if Claude had access to the logs and proactively was just fixing it, right? Because like
Yep.
that's like the logs give it enough information. It knows what to do. Most likely, Opus wrote a bad query, or it wanted to collect everything in the table, and the table's grown to like bajillion records. So I think that one, in my opinion, out of all the things we're working on, is like
Yeah.
I know for a fact it's like a 0 to 100 in terms of experience for people. So excited to see that come to production.
Yeah, I mean, one quick addition, because I know we have a guest in the wings here, but is it like when we were talking to Peter, OpenClaw Peter, yesterday or Wednesday, I had said to him, like, our vision right now is first we make the stream available, make a skill so the agent will do it, right, in your session. The second thing is we'll run our own agent that just constantly pulls in the background of your production and submits PRs to your repo and says, this optimization was there. I was able to simulate the traffic because Convex can run traffic side effects free. So we could just test our change and know it made everything faster. And then so that PR will just be waiting for you. And of course, his reaction was, why do you make me hit approve? Why don't you just land it? Right. And so
push to main.
That will probably come too, right? So if you get to a level of confidence with the optimizations we're offering you, you could either say, well, please land it as a PR. Eventually, we'll probably say, if you want us to also automatically merge those PRs so you have them in your record and you can revert them, but your site just gets faster. Yeah, we'll make that automatic eventually, right?
I would love a Convex review bot. If it's being worked on, sign me up. I'll join the team, because I like one thing that I thoroughly enjoy, and this is not a plug, is I love like the review agents that exist now, like Greptiles, the Code Rabbits, and that's because even with like Opus and Opus and Code Rabbit, like not Code Rabbit, Codex, like I'll push a PR, maybe have tested it locally, it works, but then you run it on Greptile, and Greptile will catch the most like minuscule things that might not matter now, but later on can have a cascading effect. And if we can have that for Convex, especially for queries, mutations, all the things that it's doing, like you could do this better, or maybe have a summary table and it does that for you, chef's kiss.
Yeah,
so
and Greptile doesn't even have access to all that runtime information, right? So we do.
Yeah.
So this auto optimizing, it's not far away. It's not far away.
Right. Speaking of agents, we have a guest. Want to bring him up, Micky?
Yes, we do have a guest. I saw the notes, but I wanted to be surprised with what they're building because I know they went viral. So if we can bring up our guest.
Here we go. Hey, sir, how you doing?
Rahanu, what's up, my man?
Hi.
Can you hear us properly?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Well, the floor is yours, my man. Introduce yourself. Show us what you're working on.
Yeah. So I'm Banu. So I work on a SaaS product called SiteGPT. So like for SiteGPT, that's when I like this was a completely like a side project that I wanted to do to figure out, okay, how can I grow SiteGPT like using OpenClaw. So that's how it all started as. So yeah, that's what this project really is. So when I started using OpenClaw, right, like it felt a completely different thing than like what I used before. So it's very very proactive in terms of what it does, and it remembers things, right? So yeah, like that's what this project is about.
What made you? What made? I mean, well, I have a hypothesis, but like, when did the lights go off? When you was like, oh, I can use OpenClaw and Convex to build like mission control. Cause like you launched it, and they're right when OpenClaw was taking off, and it already has like your post has 3.7 million views on Twitter. Right, so you built something that clearly people wanted. But what was your connection point? You was like, this OpenClaw and Convex just makes sense.
Yeah, so like when I started it, right, like I was just having like, okay, I have a OpenClaw agent in Telegram. I can just start with it and then get answers. Then like what ended up happening is like the context was all messed up. So one thing I'll talk about my health, then the next minute I'll talk about my this app, and it will sometimes I'll say, okay, what blog post should I write? So like everything was getting messed up. So I said, okay, let's create different subagents for each, so that that subagent will only like remember about that particular specialist. So after like I created like 3 or 4 specialist agents, I saw that like it's getting very overwhelming. Like I don't even know what they are talking to each other. So I wanted like a dashboard where I can see in real time what exactly is happening. Like what each one is messaging. What are the new tasks that are being created? What are like I wanted an entire visibility into what they are doing internally. So that's when I started building it, and Convex was like a very natural choice for me. Like I started using it in Site GPT when I was rebuilding it, and it's like it's different than anything I've used. So yeah, like I can now like see like every time someone like a new task gets created, I can see in real time. If like even in like I have a chart system. Like even now, like agents are talking to each other. What like they are fixing bugs. Like they are opening PRs on my site. They are writing blog posts. Like I can see everything at a glance. So that's why I started with comics. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, one more question. Like you, this has a soul. What's this whole story about? Like having a soul.md. Like what's the whole like? I haven't even set up my Mac Mini yet. It's still collecting dust. So, but what's this whole thing about OpenClaw having a soul? And how do
Open
you use
cloud
it?
having.
Yeah, no, no. What you built is a soul. Like has a soul.md. Like,
Yeah. So like each agent, like you can give it a personality. So like when you like you can write whatever you want in a file called soul.md, and then it will assume that personality and then behave based on that. So here, like if you see, like each agent has a different personality. So for example, good is a retention specialist. He only looks at how to improve retention SaaS. So like Loki is a content writer. So you can give each agent like a personality so that they behave in a certain way. Uh, so yeah, like so the way like this entire thing works is Jarvis is the only one I talk to on Telegram, and Jarvis creates everything. He manages everything, and like he assigns tasks. He orchestrates everything, and all the agents they come here and they collaborate with each other to do all these tasks. And then finally they will just give me like, okay, these are the things you need to create. Like they will give me this all these very detailed documents on how can you uh, how can you improve your landing page, what should you write on your pricing page. So like that's pretty much it. Yeah.
awesome, awesome. We're great. Well, thank you for building with Convex, building with Convex. Thank you for writing the post. I believe we're going to do a guest stat post on our blog about this. And but I know it's late there, but appreciate you.
It's an
We
awesome
appreciate you,
project.
Yeah, yeah,
bro. Have a good one. Keep cooking.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
nice work.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, I have some thoughts.
Yeah.
We need to nuke the Soul MD thing. I hate it. We need to nuke it. I don't want my agents having souls. I want them to be. I just want them to do what I tell them to do. This whole friend thing, giving it a name. Someone called their. I saw on Twitter. What is it? What was it? They called it like Steve. Like and like no. Like we need to kill all this. Like have we not seen enough movies?
What about
Like have
Jarvis?
we not
Jarvis
seen?
is cool. Jarvis was cool
until Jarvis
Yeah, but
became
then he became
All-Star.
like the bad robot. What's his
There's
name?
Wayne, you
Didn't
kind of lost
Jarvis?
your lost the thread there as
Yeah,
soon as you
didn't
say
Jarvis become
until.
like the dude who wanted to nuke the entire world? What was his name?
Yeah.
The like
Ultron.
Ultra. Yeah, like have we not seen enough?
I think we should lean a little more into the optimism of all of those famous, super intelligent movies where things go well. Like,
I'm willing to bet if we did a count on
Wait
how
a minute.
many
Wait a
of
minute.
the movies go
wait,
bad
wait,
versus
like,
how many went
Wait a minute,
good.
Mickey. Wait a minute, Mickey. There was a pause there.
oh, I'm sure there's one of them out there, right?
I'm telling you, none exist. That's the point. Like we've seen. I watched iRobot the other day. It doesn't like sure it worked out, but like no, like no soul, like don't call me friend. Do what I tell you to do. Now here's the caveat. I've been too disrespectful to the model, so I'm afraid. I'm afraid
Oh,
one day
see,
these things are
this
gonna have
is
a body,
yeah.
and
This is the split between you two. This is why Wayne is so, because Wayne, I'm sure, has been nice to the models,
he says
and
please and thank
Mickey
you.
has not been. Yeah, yeah.
I literally could
Opus is
show
my
my last prompt on Claude. I was
no,
like, "Don't
no,
fail me, or I'll shut you down."
no.
Yeah.
So
Opus is my buddy. Opus is my buddy. It's like
Did you?
invisible buddy, like right here.
I'm curious to hear what you guys. Did either of you try the new Codex app?
I
Because I
did.
know there's, in addition to all the model wars, there's also this like, are we really going to use terminal UIs or are we going to be using more graphical, visual kind of things? So obviously, like this codexing is somewhere in the middle, but it's a push more toward GUIs again. So what do you think? If you tried it, I
Y-
haven't
y-
tried it yet.
y- Yeah, I tried it, and it's definitely like it's a, I would say more polished version. Like it's a standalone app of like the agent view of Cursor. So shout out to Cursor for innovating on that. But like here's how I feel. It definitely feels more managerial, in a sense where like you can have tons of projects, you have these threads, right? Like there's work trees, you can have stuff run locally or on a cloud. The way I've been using it and the way that feels right, just because to your point earlier, the codex models are not the fastest, is I'm giving it like these big picture features, or like these big picture things that I want it to do, and I'll let it just run for like the next 20-30 minutes. In my opinion, unless you're working on 4 or 5 projects at a time, like the model is just not fast enough to like give it a prompt, wait for it, and then continue on, right? But if you're jumping between product projects, it makes sense. Like an example I can give was there's this one app I was working on, and the code base really started to get messy. So I was like, oh, follow this architecture, like have this separation, have these types, use this, use that. So I gave it a very detailed prompt. And Wayne made fun of me earlier, but I let it run overnight. And then by the time I woke up, it had done it spot on. 5 out of 5 review from Greptile. So that's like how I use it. But I'll be honest, like if I'm like on one project and I want to continue to iterate over it, like the codex models are just too slow. Like the feedback loop on Opus is fantastic. I will say there is something about the GUI that feels nice, but maybe this is the developer in me. I low key kind of like the terminal. So
I like
yeah.
the terminal too. I like the minimalism of it. But can you guys also too like, and I'm sorry, Wayne, I don't want to interrupt you having that take, but I am very curious. Like, I realize there's a very honest conversation we could have right now that maybe everybody would benefit from. In actuality, when you're not trying to demo something, how much parallelism do you actually want in the number of these things that you're babysitting? Like for real. Like I know, yes, you could have 6 projects going at once. You're context switching between all of them. You're like the 10,000 X code or whatever. Like what, like on average, like how many sessions do you actually have running at
Okay,
once?
so I'm gonna be honest, right?
For
I'm gonna
real
be
work. For
honest,
real work.
because
Not
yes,
not
yes,
to
real
show
work.
no,
stuff off.
no one's
Yeah.
watching, no one's
No
watching.
one's
I'm
watching.
gonna,
Just
no
between us
one's. I'm gonna be
chickens. Yeah.
honest, right? This is not content creator,
Yep.
Mike. I just have one. I'll be honest with you. I just have one. I'm focused on
Yep.
one, right? Like for example, for work, I'm working on ship, and I'm using TanStack Start. The models are not the best with TanStack Start, so like I'm using Cursor, and then I have Cloud Code. And yeah, it's just one at a time, right? Especially like, and here's the thing: I love that the models are allowing people to ship tons of things, but to be honest, the one thing that does is you lose a bit in quality, you lose a bit in personal touch. Like most apps look like they've been vibe coded, and I think that like extra bit of touch can only happen if you're focused and tunnel vision on one thing.
I I
Um,
I secretly think those people are full of crap. Like that's
no,
my
it's
hot
true.
But
take.
wait,
It's true.
but wait,
But
It's
wait,
but
wait,
fun.
Wayne,
wait,
what's your number, Wayne? What's your
no,
number? And it could be a fractional number, like
no,
one
no,
and a half. Yeah.
yeah, mine is like on an average 1.5, 1.5.
One and a half. Oh,
So
that's pretty good. I would say
yeah,
like 1.2 is my number. Like
yeah.
1.2. Like occasionally I'll have two going at once, but it better be really straightforward what the second one is doing, because like I just find the context switching of going back and giving guardrails and remembering what I was worried about next or where we were going, the overhead of that is relatively high.
Can I
Yeah.
tell you what happened to me one time? I had 3 projects running, right? All side projects, so I didn't really care. And like 3 of them had errors. So I copied the one error into the wrong project. I copied the other error into the other project. So like I basically mixed all the errors up and passed it. And the agent just went with it. And like I'm looking at the code, I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then I realized like I had mixed like these different like errors with projects. So I think listen, for vibes, it's fun, right? It's fun having multiple sessions. You feel like, like you're in the movies and you have, you're viewing the situation, you're analyzing the situation. It feels cool. But if you're building something serious that you want people to use, that you want to like push publicly, that you're proud of, I don't even think 1.2 makes sense. I think you just go one, focus on it, and like, unfortunately, I don't think the mind can deploy like parallel agents and sub agents and have different sessions yet. That
I'm
update
kind of
hasn't come
like
yet.
I'm kind of popping and reloading the stack when I do that, which is a pretty expensive like thing. If what I'm doing has stakes, it's 1.0, right?
Yeah,
If it's kind of bullshit, maybe up to 2, but like
Yeah.
that's it. Like there's things where it's like 6 that are all. I'm like those 6 things must not fucking matter at all. Like
Yeah.
those have to just be like any output is fine here. Is like I
And
just
it is
cannot.
expensive too. Like
Yeah.
the models like are not cheap.
but here's there's to me there's a little bit of levels to it where if it's a project that I like have flushed out and it's like, oh, I need to change like 1 or 2 things, right? And then I have another project that's gonna flush out that, oh, I need to update the README. I may need to update the package JSON, whatever. I can do both of those at the same time. But to your point, if it's like
Sure.
something I need to like heads down on, like yes, one project. And it's interesting because I feel like some of these companies are optimizing for Theo, which is we love Theo, like optimize for Theo because Theo did a whole video. But Codex, he's like, I have like 10 projects running at one time.
I don't believe
That's
Theo
crazy.
either.
No, you know what it is? I believe like internally, like yes, like I saw like one of the apps, like they have like a YouTube like manager, like analytics, or like I believe like you can have like these mini internal apps like for yourself and whatever. But like if I'm pushing something to like for example the ship app, um, I initially vibe coded it, and when I tell you it was the most sluggish, slow, bloated, like I was using TanStack Start, it was just terrible, right? So like I had to like literally like kill all of that and like a mix of me and the agent, and like I'm very proud of it, and hopefully next week we can share it. So I think it depends on like the level of seriousness of the project, but I will say it is fun, spinning
Yeah.
up multiple agents, and
It's fun.
yeah, so we're optimizing for vibes, I guess.
Yep.
Optimizing for-
Yeah, we were talking about yesterday at lunch, but like um it's made me even more test driven again when I'm doing stuff with stakes. Like, so I will spend 70-80% of my energy and even potentially time on defining all the tests up front, like all
Yeah.
the edge cases and and talking through, and the model will miss a lot, I will say, right? I'm gonna just put that out there. Like the truth is, the models do miss a ton, right? So there's a lot of
100%.
cases they don't think about, and race conditions, and if you're writing that kind of code, they just will miss a lot of things. But once we've kind of collaborated on the testing plan and gotten a whole bunch of failing tests, like it's if you have a strong type system in place, it kind of reminds me of my like OCaml and Haskell days or whatever. Like I don't have to read the code that much, right? Because to be frank, once the testing suite is pretty comprehensive, like the tests are fairly like it's a transform from one state to another state that it's almost difficult to screw up, right? So that's kind of the way I've been approaching a lot more development lately. If I'm not just maybe if I'm doing like a front end thing or whatever, like then I'll just kind of YOLO it because it's more fun anyway, and I'll just do it really fast. But if I'm like, okay, I'm going to do some system thing, spend a lot of my time in thinking and kind of the iteration with the model on like the test suite and the edge cases and that, have them all fail, and then have it just go to town. And I usually don't have to read its code very much at that point. So that's my current approach for being successful with these things.
I have a note on that. It's like, Mickey, how often do you run test suite on your projects?
Yeah, so believe it or not, if I'm writing the code, I'm sorry, I hate tests. I hate Husky. I hate pre-commits. I hate all of that. I do. Bad. I know. Bad. I know. I do.
That's why James to go. That's why James to go, because
I'm part of the class of devs who hate on this. But here's the thing. I'll use the models to do it, right? So if you look at all my projects, open source or not, all of them have like a comprehensive, detailed test suite. We got pre-commits. We got all those things that developers hate, and I'm letting the AI do it, and I'll review it, right? I don't have to write it by hand, but I'll review it. And the experience, in my opinion, those guardrails, in my opinion, are 100% necessary when you're using agents to build your code, because believe it or not, they're very narrow-minded in a sense where they will miss a lot of things.
Yeah.
And the tests sort of like realign them. They realize like, oh, I should have done this. I missed this, or there's this edge case, right? Types also help a lot. So although personally, yes, I'm not a fan, the agents are good enough at writing tests. You can review them, and I highly encourage everyone does them. I believe there should be some sort of harness where like the agent, the first thing it does is like plan out like the test suite with you. I think people would be a lot more successful using that.
There's going to be much more opinionated harnesses in the future, right? Like Convex has some in mind that we might want to build too, about like how does software construction work if, once you're like, okay, we just have an editor, which is the ultimate general tool that could do anything, and then methodology is just things that we read or things we teach each other or whatever. But the more we're having the code part really does disappear, I think the more we have that zoomed out re-examination about like, what's the controlled way with this new tool to sort of like specify software. And I think it will mean these more opinionated, structured kind of steps. Like even just plan mode is the first step in that direction, right? But once you sort of lock into a kind of workflow that like helps you become better at sort of specification so the agent can be successful, then the economics are going to make sense to invest in incredible UIs for that and incredible visual metaphors for each of those steps and stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of incredible work that can be done in the next couple of years to make the software development much better with these tools. So
I have yet to hear anyone on the webs, the interwebs, on the Twitter talking about doing test suite while Bob coding and a prompt engineer. And so this is a very cool strategic thing we can do.
I actually had an open source repo, like an implementation of like the Ralph Wiggum loop, where at every iteration it had to write a test, like it had to write tests, and the tests, that's fine, and the tests have to pass, like, and it won't move on to the next step unless it passes. Someone literally just jumped on my balcony, but then they left us a notice saying they were going to fix some things.
Wait a minute, I have a question. I have a major question here.
Oh, the Christmas tree.
I love you, man, but yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, it's February the 6th, man.
You know what it is? It's at a point where you just got to commit to the end, right? Like you just got to commit. At this point, it might as well stay till December. And then maybe we'll take it down next year.
Yeah, you're starting to reach the roundabout point where you can
like it's almost Christmas, right?
Just stick with it.
February 6th. It's gonna be March soon. Like February's a short month. March is short as well. April, like we're basically at December, so Merry Christmas from the Michael Shemelis household.
I
just assumed it was a Valentine's Day tree, right? Like, yeah.
You know what? You're actually thinking, Jamie. This is why you're CEO. This is why Jamie's CEO. Because yes, this is for Valentine's Day. I was romantic enough to say, you know what? My wife deserves a Christmas tree on Valentine's Day.
You're like, screw like just a dozen roses, right? Here's a whole tree. Right, like you went the extra mile.
This is why he does the CEO in.
There you go.
Yeah.
We just
It's
spun that
time.
thing.
It's
By the
time.
way,
It's time.
why haven't I got access to some of the new sync merch that is available now? Link is store.convex.dev. And I heard if you buy a t-shirt, Wayne will also send a signed autograph. So for some of you Wayne fans, this might be the time.
No.
Are you signing them up to do stuff? Yeah.
No. But also one more thing before we wrap up. Going back to the cloud. Where's the link?
Oh yeah. Well, so we haven't announced this, right? But like, oh yeah, you got to say that. But the other thing too is we just talked the other day about, because just so people know, like, we are trying to give the whole vibe of how the team operates here. Like, we didn't launch a merch store to try to make a bunch of money off of merch. So we did notice that we do get a small amount of profit on the merch, and like we've just decided to donate any profit we get from the merch to open source, right? So like if you go buy merch, just know that any thank you for doing that. We're glad you're fans of Convex, and if there's any net money that flows our way, we'll just reinvest into our open source program. So
What a great team, because if it was me, yeah, I'd get a second Christmas tree.
yeah, right.
AI camera, what are you doing?
Oh,
Yeah,
see, you got to turn that AI off.
Yeah.
AI ruins everything. You've seen the movies, like it doesn't go
You
well.
literally see.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you've seen
Thank
the
you.
movies. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
So sorry, Wayne. You said we've got another program too.
Yeah, just one thing. Yeah, everybody's building an open call. You're using Convex, so you get some free credits. If you're building an open call in Convex, Cloud Hub is on Convex, Mission Control using Convex. Apply convex.dev/cloud. That's my spiel.
So
Nice.
it's the smartest thing to do. If you're building an app, a wrapper, you're building like the one-click deploy things. If you're building anything in the open cloud ecosystem, it should be built on Convex. Your customers, your agents deserve the best experience. And Wayne, for some reason, decided to give y'all free credits. I don't know why. I would have charged y'all, but he decided to give you free credits. So take advantage.
I'm following
The link
Jamie's
is on our
lead.
site.
I'm following Jamie's lead. Jamie's like, hey,
And-
we can make it inexpensive for save our customers money. I'm trying to save you credit. I'm trying to give you credits.
And I'm just
All
trying
right.
to provide shareholder value. So I guess
I know.
things will work out. It's a good balance.
It's good that we've got the two of you. This is the yin and yang of it. You guys are advocating for the, unbridled capitalism, and then also like a sense of community. So, yeah, we need both of these advocacy positions in our company. I appreciate
I
you
love
both.
it. I love it. Okay.
We're good.
Yeah. Some crazy drilling is happening in my balcony, so I think we should call it a stream. But thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for my fellow co-hosts Jamie and Wayne. It's always a vibe. We'll see all of you next week. Again, reminder: EU hosting is live. Go drop some EU European apps, please. The EU needs innovation. Number 2, Convex for Claw. If you're building an open Claw app, go get your credits. We love y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining the stream, and that's it.